A year ago, I was stuck living the same life that most people are trapped in daily. Alarm clock goes off at 6 in the morning, you get a workout in if you're lucky, then you rush to your job, all for a salary that barely covers your rent. One day I woke up and I decided enough was enough, and so I literally hit the eject button. No safety net, no financial buffer, just conviction and determination to build a better life. This is the story of what happened next, what it feels like to go from a corporate cage to a lifestyle of total relative freedom, and basically what I've learned. And I really do hope that this will be useful to anyone who's in the same position that I was in that's considering doing this, because it was the best thing that I ever did. So we'll begin by, painting the picture of the situation that I was in so you can compare it to perhaps your situation. So, because I know that there's a lot of people that have it a whole lot worse than what I did, but nonetheless, it was, relatively, it was pretty shitty. So my, corporate cage had sort of two phases. The first was in Auckland, New Zealand, when I had my grad job, and my routine at the time was, it was an office job, 9 to 5, Monday to Friday. I lived in Auckland CBD, had a commute that was 40 minutes on a motorcycle, usually in the rain. So I woke up early, went to the gym, rode my motorcycle through rush hour traffic to work, sat under fluorescent lights for 9 hours roughly per day, and then did the same thing in reverse, left the office in the dark, went home, drove through rush hour traffic, got home exhausted, and literally just repeated that cycle for 5 days. Got to Friday, was too tired usually to do anything fun. Saturday was almost like a recovery day, and then Sunday was almost like a prep day. So like your whole week was just sustaining this hell cycle, basically. That sounds bad enough by itself, right? But in addition to that, the money that I was making was pathetic for the amount of work that I was doing. So I was getting in my bank account roughly 2,800 New Zealand dollars, which I've ballpark is probably like 1,700 US, and that was for a whole month. So my rent was $800, so straight away down to $2,000 before I'd even paid anything, and expenses in New Zealand are relatively high. So even with just the basics, every single month I actually went backwards, ended up literally running up. Despite working my ass off full-time 5 days a week and really like studying and doing sometimes work on a Saturday, I went backwards every single month. I got promoted in that role 3 times and got minor pay rises each time, and it honestly didn't really help much, because also when you're in that lifestyle, you tend to use the monies as like you've got so much built up pressure you need to vent, that you sort of treat yourself to like a little weekend getaway here or some nicer clothes here, and quickly your pay rise is gone. So that was the first phase. I eventually escaped Auckland and moved across to Australia and got into what I can only describe as a more comfortable trap. Basically, Melbourne was a much better, more vibrant city to live in. I had a nicer apartment, I had a bigger pay packet, was finally on 6 figures, but ultimately 6 figures isn't all it's made out to be. In fact, it's actually not 6 figures at all. For example, in Australia, you take 100,000, there's a 12% superannuation guarantee, which means that your 100k turns into 88k. Take tax off, you're actually down closer to 60k. Pay your rent, that'd usually be between 10 and 20 grand. Suddenly you're sub 50k, and that's before you've even bought yourself anything to eat. So quickly it just evaporates, and having to tolerate that lifestyle, you find yourself justifying expenses quite easily. So it's very easy to be honest, in Australia on 100k and have nothing left at the end of the year. I've been in that situation, I've done it, and so I just got fed up, decided I'm not getting anywhere doing this. Another big pay rise around the corner, another job title, it's not going to solve anything for me. It's not going to move the needle. It's not going to get me to where I want to be in life. And the worst part of all, I think, was that you have no freedom. Like, you literally, when you sign an employment contract full time, you're signing off your schedule. You're basically giving control of your schedule to someone else and saying, look, I'll show up on your terms for the vast majority of my life and all the quality waking hours. It's crazy. So that was the situation. It didn't get me anywhere. I had so much bottled up pressure that I just wanted to escape so bad. And so I decided literally anything's better than this. How I actually got out, I didn't have any genius business idea. I was just like, this is what I've been doing my whole career. Effectively, my job title was finance business partner. I was basically advising small and medium-sized businesses on financial matters and doing like analytics and things like that. So I was like, this is the work I do. This is what I've done for years. I'm going to try and plant my own flag and sell my services to the market directly under my own flag, not with a boss or an employer. Like, I hope it works, because that's all I've got, literally. And so, all right, so let's talk about the breakout. How did I actually do it? Well, I sat down in October 2024. I was like, I'm not doing another year of this. I wrote out my resignation letter and I stared at it and was like, holy shit, like, am I actually going to do this? I'm about to walk away from a job that's paying, what I thought at the time was good money, more than 150,000 Australian dollars per year. So I was like, fuck, am I actually about to walk away from this? Like, this is wild. But I mentally just made peace with that decision and was like, yep, I'm going to do it. Rather than, burn the bridge with my old employer and just walk away, I thought it would be worthwhile to try and negotiate some sort of continuation of services through the new business I was starting. So I put a proposal together and emailed it to my old boss, and thankfully he was open to the idea, so that worked out. And that was really a bonus, effectively. I'd already made the decision to go, but that meant that, okay, I have a bit of an anchor client now. I'm not starting from zero. So that was very helpful. But nonetheless, I knew I couldn't just effectively become a contractor to my old employer. I had to find my own feet. So January rolls around, I'm self-employed, and I have one client that's my old employer. So I'm effectively just a contractor. And I know that I need to get new clients. I'm like, how do I do this? So I consumed a whole bunch of content online. YouTube was one place. But yeah, basically just absorbed as much as I could in a short amount of time on how the fuck do I get clients. Whacked up a website and started doing outreach, cold emails, and literally sending DMs on LinkedIn, adding strangers on LinkedIn and sending DMs to them. And it actually worked. And that was the most insane sort of breakthrough for me. Was like, I didn't even hit volume. Like I did it for a few weeks and managed to pick up enough work to basically max out what I could handle with the work that was still coming through from my old employer, and was like, holy shit, like, I'd been told, or I'd been led to believe in corporate that, like, you can't just do these types of things. You can't just go out on your own, especially not in something like strategic finance, which is what I do, right? Like, there's so many obstacles you can put up and say, oh, I need to get X amount of years experience, or I need to get this job title or that. And like, I literally just whacked up a website in like a day and was like, fuck it, I'm gonna have a crack at this, and drafted up some sort of DM templates and started firing them. And I got some negative responses, of course, come through, but just was sort of like, whatever, fucking those people suck. And yeah, eventually found, had some good conversations and closed some work, and was like, holy fuck, like, I waited all these years, I endured all of this, I could have done this earlier. And it was just such an amazing breakthrough, because something changes when you sell services into the market underneath your own flag for the first time. You're like, well, hold on a minute, I've just done this, I can do it again, and I can do it again. And if I refine and make my services even better, that's going to make it easier to sell. And if I improve my presentation and my offer, it's going to make it easier to sell. Like, I did it in the state where, like, you have the most sales friction, and it still worked. And I'd been led to believe that it was virtually going to be impossible, and that turned out not to be true. And that mentally, it's just like it flicks a switch. It's like, you sort of realize, like, holy shit, I'm never going back to a job, ever. Like, that was like, just a year ago, I had a dream to escape, didn't know how I was going to do it, almost thought it was impossible. And now I'm sitting here and I can confidently say, I will never, ever go back to a job again. Like, I might as well set my CV on fire. Like, it belongs in a museum. It's a relic of a past life. And that's such an amazing feeling, because now it's like, it took me a while to mentally realize, but like, my worst case scenario now, and I know this is true, my worst case scenario is that I am taking on sort of shitty ad hoc, like, project style work, and having to do a bit of, cold selling into the market to get it. Like, but nonetheless, I'm going to be able to live wherever the fuck I want in the world. I'm going to be able to work my own schedule. I'm not going to have a boss. I'm not going to, I'm not going to have to deal with all the corporate bullshit meetings and just like shit water cooler chat and all the rest of it. Like, that's the worst case scenario. And it's like, that's, for a lot of people, that's, that's a goal. And that was previously a goal of mine. But now, the goalposts always shift. And now the goal is like, okay, I need to grow a team, scale a business, make some proper money, because you don't want to be the one who's in the trench doing the work all the time. But that's a story for another day. But yeah, it is honestly 1 year. Well, it's not even been a year. Like, it's literally, I'm in month 10 now. It just, you adjust so quickly to the new baseline. Like, now I look back at my old life as sort of like, how did I endure that for so long? Like, it was so bad. Like, my life now is just different in every way imaginable. I still work hard. Like, I work every day. I'm still working 7 days a week, but I'm working on my own thing. I can wake up whenever I want. If I want to push my alarm clock because I stayed up a bit late for whatever reason, I just push my alarm without even thinking about it. Like, I'm working, as you can see, from Medellin, Colombia, in my own apartment. Like, everything has changed. I can pack my bag and fuck off to wherever I want to go tomorrow. Honestly, once you escape corporate and you've got control of your time, your schedule, who you work with and what you work on, and your location in the world, you look back at the whole corporate world and it just literally looks like a joke. Like, it just looks like a cage. You become totally incompatible with it very quickly once you get used to your newfound autonomy. That was my experience. That type of stuff, and also this one's massively underrated, but not having a commute. Not having a commute is like the best thing ever. Like, when you're used to having to move through a city at rush hour, like, fuck, never again. So I guess the takeaway from this is like, just do it. If you're thinking about it, just do it. It's not as hard as you probably think it is. It's not as hard as, like, people are going to tell you that you're stupid, that you shouldn't do it, that you're taking too much risk. Like, I would call bullshit on all of that. I had no one telling me that it could be done. I had a whole bunch of naysayers in my ear, and I fucking just had to just do it anyway. And my life has improved beyond recognition. My baseline happiness is just so much higher now because it's like, I fucking own my schedule. I feel like a free man. And yeah, I just really wanted to share this video in the hope that anyone who's sort of sitting on the fence going like, fuck, should I? Just do it, bro. Honestly, just go for it. And yeah, I think I'm going to leave it there. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more like this, then please subscribe to this channel. I'm putting out videos like this every 48 hours. So yeah, hope to see you in the next one. Cheers.